guys, welcome back to my channel. This is your girl Dan Schmiller. Today we're going to be talking about my best performing stocks and my worst performing stocks. This is an opportunity for you guys to see what's in my portfolio, what I currently hold, and probably talk about how I got into them, and hopefully that gives you some insight on how to look for future stocks, and maybe you also want to get the stocks that I also have. Anyways, without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into it. But before we do that, I do want us to take a moment of silence for the massacre that happened on October 24th in Kumba 2020. Um, it's really a sad thing to see younger ones, people like my younger sisters and brothers, perish in something like this, especially with the civil war going on. But please take a moment of silence with me. Thank you so much for honoring them. Let's go ahead and get right into the video. The first stock I have for you guys is Zynga. So Zynga, actually, when the first time I got into Zynga was when I created my Robinhood account. That was my first free stock that I got. And I ended up selling it. I think that was back in 2018. I ended up selling it, and it was around like maybe $2-3. And then back in around 2019, when I looked it up again, I was like, oh, let me check how it's doing. It had pretty much doubled. It was around like $5-6. And that's when I bought some more shares. I was like, I don't think that was the wisest thing for me to sell it. It was a free stock. I didn't spend anything on it, so why sell it? So anyways, I ended up buying some stocks into it. At the time, I really didn't know or understand what exactly Zynga is about. But Zynga is a company that provides social game services. It develops, market, and operates social games as live services played on mobile platforms such as Apple iOS operating system and Google Android. So pretty much it's a company that makes games, mobile games, and it offers the ability for social interaction on the platforms of those games. And so think about games like Toon Blast, Toy Blast, Merge Dragons, Puzzle with Friends, and things like that. So the reason why I ended up buying more stocks into Zynga after buying back into it in 2019 is because my brother noticed that during quarantine I was spending so much time on my phone, and I was playing this game Ludo. And he was like, why are you always spending so much time on your phone? Like every time I see you, you're always like this. And I mean, I kind of noticed like, okay, I'm spending a lot of time on my phone, like on social media. If I'm not on social media, I'm probably playing a game and things like that. So that's possibly or definitely the case for many other people like me. So that's when I went and I started looking for like other things. And when I went through my portfolio, I realized that Zynga actually makes games. And at the same time, during that time period, I noticed it was getting a lot of popularity about the games it was making and how well it was doing. I think around the second quarter, the second quarter revenues were good, projections were actually good, and it beat expectations and things like that. So I went ahead and bought some more shares. So currently it had its earning call last week, and it beat expectations and had great revenues, but unfortunately the stock dipped. That's usually what happens whenever there's an earning call and a stock does or outperforms expectations. I mean, usually there are some investors that dip out and they're like, they're out. So right now it dipped back to like $8.77. And but I'm confident that it's still going to rise. It's had an all-time high of about $11. I'm very confident it's going to rise above that, especially towards the end of this year and beginning next year, especially since we are still pushing into a stay at home work type of phase and things like that. So I'm expecting it to rise. It's on my list of best performing stocks because I am very optimistic about the future for it. I think it's going to do well, a lot well than it has been doing so far, and I'm expecting it to rise. I'd say around like maybe around 14, within 14 to 13, no, $14 to $15. That's being very extremely optimistic, but a conservative range is maybe around $13. That's what I would say. Anyways, the next stock I have for you guys is Plug Power. So when I decided to invest, I didn't really know the kind of stocks I could invest in, because the ones that I knew, the big names, they're very expensive, and at the time, fractional shares was not really an option. So I knew I couldn't buy into stocks like Tesla or Apple or Amazon because of the money that I had. It wasn't enough to buy shares into those ones. But I knew that I still wanted to, be part of the stock market. And I figured that, okay, if there are big names, there are definitely smaller ones. So I was really looking for like small stocks, company with a small stock price is what I would say. And I figured that so if I take, for example, my Apple phone, and looking at it, it's owned by the company Apple, but I know that there are different companies that work together to come up with a product of the iPhone. So I figured I might as well just go ahead and start looking for those smaller companies and see if their stock price is relatively low, speaking compared to a company like Apple. So anyways, so Plug Power is one of those relatively small stock price companies. What Plug Power is, it's a company that provides alternative energy technology which focuses on the design, development, commercialization, and manufacture of hydrogen and fuel cell systems used primarily for the material handling and stationary power markets. Its fuel system solution is designed to replace lead acid batteries in electric material handling vehicles. Blah, blah, blah. Honestly, I really don't understand much, but the last sentence, its fuel cell system solution is designed to replace lead acid batteries in electric material handling vehicles. So I didn't understand much of it, honestly. But from the last sentence, I gathered that, okay, it's working to change a feature in electric car batteries, and I understand that's one of the biggest concern when it comes to electric cars. It's the battery. I know the Tesla rival company in China has it to where I think every 2 years or 2-3 years they literally just change the battery for you, and if you something like that, honestly. And but then Tesla has something else going on. So I realized that battery is a problem when it comes to the electric vehicle, and it's something that it's an ongoing solution that is still not yet conclusive. Let's put it that way. So I figured out, okay, Plug Power is definitely working towards something innovative, so I'm going to buy into it. I can't afford Tesla or some of these other big stocks, but I know I can afford this. So at the time when I found Plug Power, it was trading at like $3, and so I bought a lot of shares into it. And today it's trending at like $19. I think it's at an all-time high of about $19-20, honestly, 52-week high, I'd say. So it's been doing so very well, very, very well. And I am very, very happy about my purchase and how smart as I was to buy into it. I hope you guys are enjoying this video so far. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask me. And now, last but not least, on my best performing stock list is Fastly. So this is going to transition us into my worst performing stock. So Fastly, if you don't know about Fastly, go check out my previous video. I'm going to put a link of it right up here where I talk about how to find good small stocks to buy. I really talk about in detail what Fastly is and what it does. Now, Fastly is the last on my best performing stocks, because when I got into Fastly, I bought Fastly, I want to say at like 16, yeah, I want to say around $16-15. And Fastly did very well throughout the year, throughout the summer at least, until Trump decided to put a ban on TikTok, and that was around towards the end of the quarter. They had their earnings calls, and that's when we realized, us investors realized that, look at me say us investors. I'm sorry. Us investors realized that TikTok was one of Fastly's biggest customer, and if it was getting banned, then that meant trouble for the company. And so at the time, shares in Fastly had risen to over $100, to like 114, I want to say. And after that earnings call, it dipped back to like 80. It was struggling around 75, $77. And so up until that point, I had cashed out and I made some money from Fastly. And when it started going back again, and the first time I cashed out, actually, that's why Fastly is on my best performing stock, and I still believe in it, honestly. But the reason why it's also at the top, or I'm transitioning into like my worst performing stock with this, is because when it rose above $80, after Walmart, I think, was it Walmart that bought TikTok and things like that? Yes. And everything went normal. When it rose above $80, I bought some shares back into it, and it rose to past 130, 30 something. I said 31. Yeah, about 131 to like 120 something dollars. And I was like, whoa, this is crazy. But I was also very excited. So it rose past that point, and an analyst woke up. I don't know who he is or who sent him, but he woke up and said Fastly is way overrated. It's according to him, his the stock price that Fastly should be around $88 or something. And after that, shares price in Fastly dipped from 0 to 100 real quick, and I lost a lot of money. That day I was driving out of town, so when I usually get notifications when one of my stocks drops below a certain percentage, and I got a notification. And I also subscribe to Yahoo Finance, where like I get like notifications on alarms of like of companies that are on my watch list. So I got all those notifications, but I really didn't pay attention to them because I was trying to pack and get on the road so that I can avoid a rush hour traffic and things like that. And I missed that. I'm usually on top of my game, honestly, but I missed that. And so shares in Fastly dipped, and I lost a lot of money. I didn't lose the money that I invested. That's one thing that I'm glad. I didn't lose the money I invested, but I lost all the money I had gained from it. And so, I mean, I still think it's going to rise. I still think it's a good company to buy into. If you're someone that's more into short term, then I won't advise you to go ahead and buy Fastly. But if you're into long term, then definitely buy into Fastly is what I would say. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned some new stocks today, and hopefully you also gained some new insights on how to find stocks, and my video was helpful in some way or another. Let me know in the comment section if you want more videos like this where I talk about the stocks that I currently hold. And if you have any questions, make sure to comment in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Remember, I want us to all grow and make gains together. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day.